February is Heart Month, and in this video I want to focus on organ and blood donation. It is extremely important that this is something that people discuss. Now, the reason that organ and blood donation is so important to me is that without blood donation, Dawn Louise would not be here today. She has had many blood transfusions, as during open heart surgery you obviously lose a lot of blood and that blood needs to be replaced. If you are an O blood type, please consider donating blood, as it can be used for literally anyone. You could save anyone's life with that blood. It is so important that we do this to help others. The way I see it is, if you're willing to take an organ donation or blood donation, you should be willing to give. So if you are, please consider it. Trust me, I spent years being needle phobic, and then last year I gave blood for the first time, and I'm so angry at myself for putting it off so long, because it really did not hurt at all. And I know that that is a thing that people say, but this is not like getting your blood drawn. It is not like having blood tests. It is so painless. You're sat there for 5 minutes tops, and honestly I didn't feel anything, and I was actually really surprised at how painless it was. And it got to a point where I actually looked at the needle in my arm and I felt fine even with that, and that is a big step for me personally. So if you are afraid of needles, please at least try. If you can't do it, it's okay, but if you can at least try and push past that fear to help others, I would definitely appreciate it, because you never know who you might be helping. There are so many babies that end up having blood transfusions. You could literally give them a better chance at living. Organ donation is very close to my heart now, because one day Dawn Louise's heart will fail and we may one day need to go down the route of a heart transplant. Now, unfortunately, heart transplants are not as easy as people think they are. Obviously, this is not a donation you can have from a live donor. It has to be with somebody who's passed, which is really, really hard to come to terms with. And it's also not that easy. For her to be classed as a transplant recipient, she first needs to go through a series of tests, including a cardiac catheter, which is an already risky procedure. And if she is in heart failure, it could further damage her heart. During the catheter, they check that her lung pressures are okay, because otherwise she would also need a lung transplant. Adding more organs to a transplant makes it that much harder to get and that much more risky. It is really hard to get multiple organs suitable for a donor at the same time. Dawn Louise is also at risk of liver and kidney failure due to the circulation that she has in her heart. It builds up pressures in the lower parts of her body. If she does go into liver and kidney failure, it is unlikely that she would be put forward for a transplant, because she would be relying on 3 organs at the same time, which would not be easy to get. We don't put all our hope on her having a transplant in the future, just because it is such a slim chance that she'll actually get the heart and other organs if needed. But also, once you have a transplant, you are not cured. Unfortunately, the rate of a child